Today on the Daily Scoop podcast from the Scoop News Group, IRS CIO Rajiv Uppal is stepping down this month, and the Trump administration aims to overhaul federal procurement and contracting systems in new executive orders. It's Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. Welcome to the Daily Scoop podcast, where you'll hear the latest news and trends facing government leaders. I'm the host of the Daily Scoop podcast, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for joining me. Now let's dive into the day's top headlines. The Internal Revenue Service's Chief Information Officer is leaving the tax agency this month, the latest in an increasingly long line of veteran IT leaders exiting the government amid President Donald Trump's gutting of the federal workforce. Rajiv Uppal told IT staffers in a Monday email obtained by FedScoop that he had decided to depart the tax agency and that his last day will be April 28th. Kashit Pandya, the agency's chief technology officer, will take over as acting CIO while leadership finalizes long-term plans for the role, Uppal wrote. Uppal said in the email, quote, "It's been an honor to serve as your chief information officer for 2 filing seasons, and I'm tremendously proud of the work we've done together to modernize how we deliver, support mission outcomes, and navigate change." A Treasury Department spokesperson said in a statement to FedScoop that Secretary Scott Bessent is, quote, "committed to ensuring that efficiency is realized while providing the collections, privacy, and customer service the American people deserve." Uppal started as the IRS's CIO in January 2024, after previously leading the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services Office of Information Technology and serving as a digital services expert in the U.S. Digital Service during the first 2 years of Trump's first term. The IRS has faced near constant turmoil since Trump took office again. In February, the agency laid off roughly 7,000 probationary workers and is reportedly considering cuts that would trim its 90,000-person staff in half. In late March, 50 IT executives were placed on administrative leave. Elon Musk's Doge also eliminated the IRS's Transformation and Strategy Office. Treasury officials have made the case that the IRS workforce reductions are centered on non-technical staffers in leadership roles. In other news, President Donald Trump signed a pair of executive orders on Tuesday to revamp the federal procurement and contracting processes, part of the administration's sweeping takedown of government regulations. The procurement order takes aim at the federal acquisition regulation, which the White House says has evolved, quote, into an excessive and overcomplicated regulatory framework and resulting in an onerous bureaucracy. To create the most agile, effective, and efficient procurement system possible, Trump's EO calls for the removal of undue barriers and unnecessary regulations in procurement. As part of that approach, the order says the FAR should contain only provisions required by statute or essential to sound procurement, and any FAR provisions that do not advance those objectives should be removed. Kevin Rhodes, OMB senior advisor, said in a statement that the FAR overhaul, quote, will reduce more than 40 years of bureaucratic buildup that will unleash our procurement system with generational change and results. The contracting order, on the other hand, is a bit lighter on details, simply calling for agencies to buy commercially available products and services with the elimination of unnecessary and imprudent expenditures of taxpayer dollars in mind. For more news at the intersection of the federal government and technology, make sure to visit fedscoop.com. The Daily Scoop podcast is available on all podcast platforms. If you've already rated the podcast on your platform of choice, thanks so much. High ratings and good reviews of the show help more people find it. The Daily Scoop podcast is a production of the Scoop News Group in Washington, D.C. Adam Butler and Carlin Fisher help put the show together, and the entire Scoop News Group team contributes. We'll be back next week with brand new episodes. Until then, I'm your host, Billy Mitchell. Thanks so much for listening.